yesterday. We'll talk about the Bears and what they're not doing in just a moment. But let's start with the Giants. Look, they are 3-1, Rex. 3-1 teams tend to make the playoffs. Are the New York Football Giants a playoff caliber team?
No, but they're going to go all the way. They're going to be scrappy all the way. And if they can steal a game or two, they can possibly get in. I don't think they're that level, but I will say this. They're way more talented than the general public thinks. I truly believe that. And look, their best player on defense, the Big Williams, never played. Like, this team can rush the passer, and their offense, they got Saquon Barkley. This is one of the best backs in the league, so probably the best.
I think that's the thing that we're seeing in the resurgence of Saquon Barkley and now the addition of Brian Daboll. You see a team that's willing to fight each and every week, and they have a defense that's giving them opportunities to be in games, at least against the competition they played thus far this season. And Saquon Barkley has been the best offensive player in 3 of the 4 games that the New York Giants have played. And so if you're going to play this team, it's not going to be the walk in the park. They're everything that Joe Judge said they were going to be the last 2 years, and you're seeing steady improvement week after week. And kind of like Dan said, you hope that their second running back, Daniel Jones, can get healthy and continue to make those plays in the boot lane.
Coming into the season, the Giants had 3 questions. Did we find our head coach? That answer is unequivocally absolutely yes.
Absolutely.
Is Saquon Barkley going to be anything in this league? It certainly seems that way. And is Daniel Jones part of our future? No. And that was the answer before this season.
Yeah.
And a month into the season, the answer is still no. That's where the Giants sit. They are not a playoff team now.
So the Giants came into this season thinking the most important thing they would do is evaluate the quarterback. Surprise, surprise, they're 3-1. The Bears came into the season the same way.
Bears fans
thinking the most important thing we can do is evaluate the quarterback?
Bears fans,
you figure out what the quarterback is. No, is that not what they
hell no. There's no way they came into the season thinking that, Greeny, and then do the little that they did on offense to build anything around him. The reason you can look at Zach Wilson and say, you know what, we have something here is Elijah Moore, it's Garrett Wilson, it's Corey Davis, it's Breece Hall, because they said they were going to build around him. Even with losing linemen, he has people he can distribute the ball to. The Bears did absolutely nothing. They averaged 97 yards a game passing. The last time anybody ever averaged under 100 yards, it was 1977. Greeny, I wasn't born. I wasn't stinking born, Greeny. And you're looking at this team, they've done nothing to help this young quarterback. And anytime they get a play, the only offensive highlights we show of the Bears, they're absolutely phenomenal. You know why? Because he's had to lose his mind and go the refrigerator off a Little Giant to get anything done. As a matter of fact, her name was Icebox, but he got a refrigerator because he's in Chicago. It's almost sickening what they did not do offensively there.
Rex, as you watch this team, they coach the game. And look, I mean, they were 2-1 coming into this game. They coached the game like they were afraid to throw the ball. And I don't know what to make of that. Obviously, it has a lot to do with the people that they have. Why are you looking at me like that?
And it's not just the guys. Well, that's the thing. It's not just the guys they're throwing the ball to. They can't protect the quarterback. They cannot protect the quarterback. And that's obviously the biggest problem they got. So, you know what? They're going to be like, well, how can we steal this thing and actually keep our quarterback upright? Yeah. Let's pound the football and play defense. And look, their defense is not that good, and they don't run the ball well enough to get this through. They've got 2 wins. How?
Dude, I told Bears fans this all summer long. Don't talk to me about Justin Fields' development. You've got a 5th-round pick starting at left tackle. He might become a really good player, but that is not ideal. Yep. He has literally one of the worst pass-blocking offensive lines in the last decade of the NFL. Yeah. I said this. Your number 1 receiver is really a number 3. Darnell Mooney's a good player. He's going to continue to be. He's not a number 1. Yeah. So his number 2 receiver is really like a 5. His starting tight end, Cole Kmet, what?
Looks like a tackle.
I mean, right now he looks like a tackle.
That was what you got. What?
So to talk to me about can we evaluate Justin Fields is one of the dumbest questions in football. And Bears fans wanted to tell us, how dumb we were. No, we're not. Your offense isn't good enough to evaluate a young quarterback. Deontay Johnson, that ball gets tipped early, turnover for the Jets defense.
LaMarcus Joyner, and then the Jets. Oh, tricky Jets. Philly special Jets.
It's like throwing to each other. Braxton Berrios looks like Zach Wilson. I'm going to be honest, disappointed in the gritty.
No, you couldn't be more wrong.
I think it wasn't that good.
It's by far the greatest gritty of all time. Jets up 10-0. Mitch Trubisky out of the game. Let the Kenny Pickett era begin in the the second half. Dan, what's this?
Adrenaline throw, and I don't mind it, Greeny. You're giving your big receiver Chase Claypool a dump ball. You go up there, you got to go make that for your rookie quarterback.
Yeah, but then Kenny Pickett would run for one touchdown, and here he comes running for another touchdown, and the Steelers had a 20-10 lead. But the Jets behind Zach Wilson were not giving up. How about this throw?
Ball out on time to Corey Davis right before that drop-down defender. Micah Fitzpatrick gets his hand on it. Great timing.
Later in the fourth, Steelers need not to turn it over, but that was not the theme of this day. Picked.
Awesome job by the rush for the Jets, and then Kenny Pickett forces that football. This might be the throw in Zach Wilson's career. 2nd and 9, defender driving on Corey Davis, pinning on his back shoulder.
That sets up this 2nd and goal from the 2. That's the rookie Breece Hall. It looks like a fumble, but hold everything. The Jets had fallen on it anyway, but they would take another look and they would realize that he had already scored. And so now with the final seconds set to tick off the clock, I've never been
this
sure.
This is the longest 10 seconds of your day.
I was positive they were going to catch this in the end zone, and I was right, but it was us who did it. It is the Jets with the pick, 24-20. Mike Tomlin's team goes down. Mitch Trubisky's era is over. Kenny Pickett wins. And, if we were a children's show today, I would be saying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to teach you about a game called football. Sometimes one team wins and the other team loses. And the team that wins is usually happy, and the team that loses is sad. Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers, RC. I'm so sorry that you are sad.
You're
and
not
that
sorry.
I am the cause of it. No, not very sorry. But Kenny Pickett, on he comes. That's the beginning. What is it?
It's time. It was time to make the change. You could see that with Mitchell Trubisky, you weren't going to win games. And if you aren't going to win games, it's time to start planning for your future. But Pittsburgh Steelers don't plan for the future. The Pittsburgh Steelers, as Deontay Johnson mentioned after the game, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't rebuild. Every year you field the team, it's about trying to win the Sticky Lombardi, and this team can't do that. This team can't do that with Mitchell Trubisky, and this team also cannot do that with Kenny Pickett, and that is the sad thing. This team is going to have a losing record, and it may be really, really bad. Mm-hmm. Not one of those close ones where there's like a light at the end of the tunnel and you go, oh, you know what? Maybe next year. No, one of those ones where you start to try to figure out what the hell is going on. They can't rush the passer now that T.J. Watt is gone. 7 sacks in the first game, only 3 sacks since. Obviously, you're playing Cincinnati. The only playmaker defensively is Micah Fitzpatrick. And you have an offensive line that can't invert the line in the run nor protect your young quarterback. This is a terrible place to be for Mike Tomlin, and it's uncharted waters in his tenure.
By the way, the next 2 games, they get Buffalo and Tampa. So it doesn't get any easier. So they're 1-3, and they could easily be 1-5, and they got Philly sitting there. What do you think of the move to the kid?
Yeah, I think you can't go back. It has to be Pickett now. You made that decision. As soon as you benched Trubisky, you made the decision moving forward that you put him on the bench. This kid has to go. Regardless how bad it goes, you got to leave this rookie out there now. I think that's what Mike Tomlin will do.
Okay, so go ahead.
Don't expect anything different, though, Pittsburgh. That's my thing. It's the right decision. Yes, easier start. Don't expect your offense is not good. Kenny Pickett is not coming to save the day. You guys hold the football for like 2 minutes a drive. That's the truth. I think the only team worse offensively is Carolina. So I love the fact that he's going to get to play. Do not expect different results.
Having said that, there are 7 other things I want to say, and they are Jets, 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 Jets. That's the biggest win the Jets have had in a long time. 2 weeks ago was a fluke.
Up, man.
The game against Cleveland was a fluke. This was not, and I know it is only a 1-game sample, but Zach Wilson right now, you said it to me, Rex, he has the best arm that any Jet quarterback has had since Joe Namath.
The most talented quarterback the Jets have had since Namath. That's a lot of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And when they took him 2nd overall, that's why. We saw it in this game. Look at this throw right here. Pocket poise and all that. Here's the other thing. He can make off-schedule throws. He's athletic enough to do it. In today's game, that's important. He can do all that type of stuff. And guess what? Man, it's so good to be a Jet fan, isn't it? I feel proud to be a Jet fan right now. And we got players, Greeny. We got some players on this team.
Yes, we do. We have players. I'm looking at I'm like, who are these people? And I can't believe
we
they're
don't
wearing
have
green.
a tackle, but we got players.
And very quickly,